Hey guys, it is me, Phoenix. We are here to do a general read. We're going to pull from the Stargazing Oracle since we had the super moon. We're going to pull from the Oracle, Spiritual Journey Oracle and the Shadow deck. Also, this is the Neotic. It's right there, and I don't feel like getting it. The Neotic Tarot deck. It's two of them in one. And then this is the archetype deck with the archetypes and the traits of love. So this is what we're going to pull from, maybe if I feel the need to. But so far, let's start off with the Stargazing Oracle. This is by Maruk X. Maruk X, the Lightworkers Tarot and Oracle, and Marek X, and then I'm going to pull from the Four Agreements and the Crystal deck. Four Agreements I will link up in the description box when it, not in the description, and the additional links so you can understand what the Four Agreements mean, at least to me. Also, with the Fifth Agreement and the Crystal deck is learning about the chakras. So, yeah, let me get the card deck over here, and so I can tell you it's Neotic. I don't know. Hold on. It's the Neo Neoteric Feminine Tarot deck. Now, I like this deck because it's a lot of feminine energy. Us as Cancers, we are the what is it? The mother of the Zodiac. Is what Queen Amun Ra always says, and I give credit where credit is due. You guys, if you notice that about me, because it's hard to do this thing called tarot. It's hard to do this thing called life, and so if we can't shout each other out without, yeah, that's just who I am as a person. But anyway, the Neoteric Feminine deck, because it's two of them in one. Now, I bought these and I didn't know I'm like a buyer of cards and things. And so, not just cards, but the thing is that I bought them and didn't know that I had two of the decks. So that's where it is. And I put them together because I was like, hey, wait a minute. I have two of these. But guess what? I have two of a lot of card decks because I'm always giving them out to people just so they can learn their journey, their spiritual journey, and tarot is very spiritual. So there you have it. Yeah, I always say my spiel, like, share, subscribe, even though it's in there. I've been having issues. You guys know. Look what comes out. Boom, boom, boom. Cancer, family home, moody, introverted, emotional, lunar, defensive, nurturing, intuitive, insecure. I'm not insecure. I'm insecure when it comes to my legs, but that's only because I got burned by a motorcycle, uh, getting off of it when I was younger, and the scar is still there. But that is insecure. So I used to, when I was younger, didn't wear shorts all the time, but now I don't give a, you know. Birth and receptives, the mother of the zodiac, the nurturer, the person. Queen of Pentacles always able to manifest money, finances, energy, good energy, but we have the problem of over nurturing a situation. So that's why that came out. But anyway, yeah, I need you guys to water element. This is about us. This is a read all about us. Trust your feelings, not using logic. Go with the flow, subtle changes, psychic dreaming, intuition, and emotional. So this is where you guys are. What I was saying is that hopefully you guys will be able to hear me because I got a new headpiece. I look like a police officer walking around here so that I can hear what you guys hear. And the other one that I had was like horrible. So there you have it. I hope you guys can hear me. But I think it's also my editing software. I got to get a different one because it is lowering the volume of the videos here, or it's either the volume of the microphone for the headpiece that I have. Your soul has returned to learn many lessons. And so that is what you're lessening. That's what you're learning, the lessons in life. But it has come back to do this thing called twin flame energy, Virgo energy. Yeah. So this is witchy, analytical, perfectionist, detailed, critical, responsible, humble, orderly, insightful, alchemist, and health. So here's the thing, you have to understand that when it comes to the energy, excuse me, when it comes to the energy of you changing your belief system, understanding where you are, understanding that, things when it comes to um, going into hermit mode, things like that. I'm about to cough. Hold on. It all happened all of a sudden. Hold on. Yeah, so the Virgo is basically the hermit energy, which I believe in my mind of mine is the Virgo should be hermit. I mean, excuse me, the Cancer should be a hermit. We should be a hermit because we are the crab. We should have two of the the zodiac part of it. I don't know how you call it, but anyway, I believe that this is the Cancer. When we get emotional and we start to feel some type of way, we go into our shell. So again, the lessons that we learn dealing with people is a part of our spiritual journey. Look at this. I didn't even see that. Oh, the ninth house. Yeah. So this is the part of where we are. And I said earlier in our read, when I said coming to deal with learning tarot, a spiritual journey. And that's the reason why, because we have to learn why. Just like what I'm going through right now, I'm doing a new endeavor, ninth house energy, right? Foreign travel, long journeys, wisdom, law, learning, adventure, rituals, foreign spirituality, and religion. I'm learning something new, and it's so hard for me because when I learn, I have to learn the way that I'm going to um it has to be organized. But am I organized? You see all of this chaotic mess, and this is my what makes me happy here. I can come here and I ground myself and I have peace here. And to you guys it might look chaotic, but these are pieces of where I was at in a situation to where I had to rise from the ashes. And that's the reason why I call myself the Phoenix. And so going from here, when it comes to me learning new things, I put my all into it. I don't just say, okay, I'm gonna do it and half-ass it. It has to be organized. It has to be strategic, even though I'm a chaotic mess when it comes to the way that I do things. I will do things a certain way, but I'll teach you the right way, if that makes sense. And so learning the lessons of having guidance and things like that, because I didn't have a me when I grew up. Me and my mom are totally different. We're on two different pages. My mom is very successful in her own right. My dad is an entrepreneur, but was a Rolling Stone at the same time. Yeah, that's a lot. But when it comes to me mixing those energies together of being an entrepreneur, and my mom is an entrepreneur too, don't get me wrong. But my mom was more business professional, and my dad was just like, does everything that he's passionate about. And that's where I took that professionalism. But the thing is why I go back to this. I go into hermit mode when things start to not work out, when it comes to the analytical side of me learning and having to learn my own way. Yes, it's hard for me. I've been self employed, but I've been blessed in the process of that. So when I start new things, I start to go into my shell, and I have to learn to trust my feelings, and also know that I'm doing it the right way, and that I can't use logical thinking in the process of this. Is this bad or is it good? It's me doing things my own way, but that's the years of that I had when it came to dealing with different situations. So I say that to you. It's a journey that we go through, and our mood changes based upon our feelings. And so sometimes we have to tower energy, tear down the limiting structures we built for ourselves to move forward, rebuild better, stronger, and wiser. Sagittarius energy that came out, it says lucky, freedom, exploration, traveling, risk taker, open minded, optimistic, adventurous, outspoken, blunt, and tactless. This is what we go into, that fire, that centurion type energy, when we start to feel some type of way. But it says you're meant to fulfill your divine contract, and you have to learn what that contract is. And that's the lessons that we have to learn. The gibbous moon is here. You're close to achieving your goal. Final phase before completion. Some tweaking needs to be done. Pay extra attention, details, and focus. You have to focus on the things that you really want. And sometimes it comes with you having to pull your energy back and go into hermit mode. And so that's the hard part about this spiritual journey that we go on, because, people will think we're acting funny, but, a lot of the times people's energy is bad when it comes to them not understanding. But light worker came in the middle. Now let me tell you, when I watch people shuffle cards, I'm always like, that card is still there, take it off the bottom. So I specifically try to move cards through so that I get a authentic reading. I do that all the time, but I just say that because I saw light worker when I opened it up. Fears, yeah, and soul connections. Fears, when it comes to our soul connections, hold us back. Does that make sense? And so look, fears at the bottom of the deck. So I try to do it that way so that they will go through, and then there will be something, look, a new outlook. There will be something else on the bottom of the deck. So to make sure that it's not the same thing that comes out, it literally is like I'm at the TV screen doing like this. Move that card. It's a karmic lesson that happens in order for us to move forward. The cards are spiritual places. You have to be able to understand why you have to go through this spiritual journey in order to get to a situation to where you're learning. And so the divine contracts are going to happen, but you got to trust in the divine plan, which are the cards that come out, and also use your intuition when it comes to it. It says you and another are connected in the soul spirit realm and can transmit thoughts and emotions in the 5D. That's where I tell you guys, you have to send strength and healing, but the divine plan is at work. You have to understand that the lessons are here and that your divine contract is going to be complete, but you have to do things your own way. This my oldest son is a Sagittarius, and he's a fly by night type of person. He just is very adventurous, a risk taker. I'm not that until I get into my King of Wands energy and I start realizing that I have to take these risks for myself. And I take them for everyone else, but when it comes to you taking them for yourself, this is where everything starts to be put in, like the analytics side of it. It's like, okay, if I take this risk, this has to be done this way, and so you start to understand and rediscover your own rich inner world through tranquility, meditation, and affirmations. Remember, that's what I say at the beginning of my speech, because those were the energies that took me to a point of me understanding where my doubts and where my fears came in at. Remember, and that's moving forward. And so that is why I create the way that I create. The gibbous moon is like knowing that it's right there. I'm right there at the path of achieving my goals, but that's when the anxiety comes in, if that makes sense. And so you have to do things the way that you want to do them, but you have to be confident enough in order to do them. And sometimes you have to trust in your intuition and also trust your feelings. Your intuition is your feelings. That what we call a chip on our shoulder, or we hearing things and then all of a sudden it's like I should have followed my first mind. That is your intuition, your first mind. But also you have to realize that, yeah, drama is there. It's at the bottom. Let's read it. Don't be afraid to burn a few bridges in order to stop attracting drama. Stop creating your own storms. So that comes with you creating your storms by you actually getting to the point to where what you're doing is you're overthinking a situation and you're making it harder on yourself. Now, when I say that to you, that makes so much sense because I will be analytical about everything when it comes to me learning things, but it has to be my own way or I won't feel good about it. And then that keeps stagnation, and that's where the Virgo energy comes in, hermit, because then I go in hermit mode and I start to doubt myself, and you start to look at things in a different light. Gullible comes out when it says set and honor your boundaries and don't fear walking away from situations that are not good for you. And so sometimes these energies that are around us, we know that they're not good for us, or we know that when we're starting certain situations it's because it's time to end a certain situation of stagnation. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. I'm just kind of talking as I think about where I was at in certain moments of and how I feel when it comes to, yeah, being around fake energies, fake people, and not even that, because I don't surround myself with a lot, but certain energies. Um, I tell my kids this all the time. You're around the you attract. Excuse me. You become the five people that you're around. Guess what? Guess who I'm around? My kids, and I'm gonna stop that too because they get on my nerves, but I love them so much. But it says fake. You will be rewarded when you choose to live a life that reflects your truth instead of living a life created to please others. Does that make sense? And so, us as parents, and I'm speaking respectfully, I love my kids and I wouldn't change them for anything in the world. I wish I could be a risk taker every day. I wish I could be open minded and optimistic. Hold on one second as my son walks in the room. Okay, so yeah, he's turning his music up. He's asking I hear it, but hey, I'm near his room. My office is near his room, so yeah. But anyway, when it comes to those energies, those are the things that we have to understand. That we have the power to of our word, our thoughts, and everything like that to feel some type of way when it comes to dealing with certain energies and the slowest shadow, and when things start to take time, or when things start to get out of hand or not move fast enough than what we want, then we start to become impatient. It says things don't get any easier by putting things off. Take action. It's the only way to change your life. And so that's where it's just like when you get into a stagnation place, a place of stagnation, or a place where you feel like things aren't, there's no boundaries there. People are walking over you, or they're not respecting your energy, your time, things like that. You start to put energy into doing something new, and then, you start to look at all of the things. Okay, I took this risk to do that. I learned this lesson. I'm nurturing this, but I'm pulling my energy back, and I'm setting boundaries, and I'm also trying to make everything perfect. So that's the thing, nothing is perfect. And so when you get to this point to where I'm at right now, because I'm starting a new endeavor, again, I am proud of myself. I put stuff on whiteboards, and I cross it off as I finish it, or when I started, and I give myself a certain amount of time. But with the pandemic, I didn't give myself a time frame. I just wrote it down, and I have completed at least 65%, 75%, I would say, of the things that I wanted to start. And now the 25% that I didn't start is because I knew that that was going to be challenging. So the comfort level of the things that I knew would be easy, I started them, and I finished them, but I never took action in regards to them. So I have things that are just sitting and waiting for me to, to make a move with, if that makes sense. And so that is when you start to do the easier things and not trusting your intuition, and fulfill the contracts that you started. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. I'm just kind of spewing out the mouth. And when it comes to the ninth house, it's like, again, traveling, going, wanting to say, okay, I want to go on this vacation. And I plan to do it, but then you start to talk yourself out of it, because it's like, well, it's too far. And if I go by myself, what's going to happen? That part is the fear of you not trusting in your intuition, and that's keeping you stagnant, if that makes sense. And then when it comes to long journeys, oh, I want to go and drive here, but it's too far in my car. And it's like, but that's your intuition telling you go and do it. That's when you got to follow your first mind, if that makes sense. And so just not to keep, when it comes to the law, or when it comes to law, Lord law, when it comes to the things, that you should be doing. Law is something that I've always been interested in. That's why I'm in school for it, right? And so those things, but it always happens when something goes slow. It doesn't happen the way that it's supposed to. It takes a long time. This is postpones decisions or actions, tentative, unsure, and slow in acting. So those things that you took action before, but then they started to take a long time to happen, or you can't see any results in there, then you start to look at things in a different light, and it's like, oh my God, I put all this energy into this. And then you start to get to a point to where you want to go in hermit mode and just stop. And then you start looking at things, and you start to become angry, because you start to feel like, you know um you're not being rewarded, because you're around, you know all of these different fake energies, or nobody is there to push you, but you have to let the divine work for you and rediscover your own rich inner world. You know what I mean? And so, that does that make sense? I hope that is. Orange hearts in the comments. But again, mocking, you think people are making fun of you, but people are afraid of your energy. That's the whole thing. They're going to mock you. They're going to make you feel less than, because you decided to go on a journey. You wanted to do this, you wanted to do that. And they only think of certain ways. You're thinking of all of these different things, and you have this big dream of how you want things to be. And then when people start to mock you, then you start to look and be like, how you going to mock me when I just helped you do something? And then you start to take things personally. That's the reason why the four agreements are here, and it means so much to me. And also the game of life, because you put good energy out there for people, but then they turn around and take your kindness for weakness. And I guess this is what I need to be saying, and I'm putting it out there. This is the life of a Cancer. Respectfully, you don't have to be going through the same thing, but when your kindness is taken for a weakness, then you start to like really start to look at things in a different way. And then the Sagittarius energy comes out when you start to be able to take risk and not care how anybody feels or thinks. And that empathetic nature turns with fire. And that's where the phoenix is. You rise from the ashes. It's not that you're here trying to make people feel some kind of way. You're just here to achieve all your goals and help people achieve theirs first before you get to yours. You put yourself on the back burner, if that makes sense. So, mocking, it says, no matter how badly people treat you, never drop to their level. Take the high road. Because, see, oh, it's easy for us to cut people with our words. And that's where you have to learn to rediscover the things and peel back the layers. It says peel back layers of a person or a situation to discover that what you may not have originally known. these people are afraid to move forward. The people that you're around, again, the 5 people that you surround yourself with, or the people that you have surrounded yourself with, are totally different from you. So either you become them, or you change the way you do things when it comes to where you are, if that makes sense. And so that's where the divine plan is at work. It says if something is not unfolding according to your expectations, understand the divine may be orchestrating a plan that will have a more meaningful long-term result. And so that's where you have to understand and trust in the soulness, trust in the lessons of the fake people or fake energies that you feel like are around you, and also understand where you need to set boundaries at, because again, people will walk over you. Let me go ahead, since we're talking about people and situations, I'll pull from the archetype deck and understand that this is something that it means a lot to me. So I'm going to spill my look at all these cards that come out. So again, the types of energy that's around you, the runner, people that avoid you because they feel like a lot of the stuff that you can provide for them, they're fine. But when you can't, they run from it, or they run from the seriousness of the conversations that you need to have, which is why you need to set the boundaries. Runs away from intense connections, unwilling to do the work that is needed. They want to stay in their comfort zone. So this is where you start to become like them, because they're okay with being in that same comfort zone, being able to rely on you. But then you start to feel gullible when you start to take action and look at things for what they really are. We have the intellectual. It says it has a hard time keeping an open mind. They apply logic before making a move, often overthink and overanalyze. Love. So this is how they feel when it comes to you wanting to live like the girl in the movie Ashanti. I wanna be like the girls in the movies. You get what I'm saying? And so the vampire, this is a toxic energy. They will take, and they lure you with their attractions, depending on whether male or female. It says they feed off of their partner's energy. They suck your energy away. You're a giver, but you are also somebody who is able to manifest. But you can't manifest if you can't trust in your intuition. When you start to feel like you're around somebody that's fake and that you feel gullible with, so they're going to constantly distract you from feeling gullible, and from giving to from not from stopping the energy of not giving to them. They're going to always try to find ways to take from your energy, whether relationship, situationship, friendship, whatever it is, until you start to get into your um, risk taking bag, the true King of Wands energy. You start to take those risks and realize in the Drake energy, you only live once. Knight of Wands, be bold, be fearless, do what you love, YOLO, right? And then when you get into your Page of Swords energy, yesterday is history. Excuse me, Page of Wands, yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery. The only thing that's real is the present moment. You start to realize that the past taught you a lesson. The future causes so much anxiety that you don't have time to be in the future. You have to be in the present moment. And that's the lessons that you learn when you start to fulfill your divine contract, but you become cold. But let me finish reading the vampire. Tends to take more than they give, often unaware that they need help. And these people need help. They run from the serious energies, and the ice queen. Love has to make sense. Too level-headed to easily fall in love. Never puts up with anyone's bullshit. So they're quick to run. They're quick to run, but then this is who you become when you start to get into your fire mode. And then we have the fling. Only interested in having sex. No interest in having anything long term. Has short and spontaneous experiences. So yeah, now, the student is here. Are they willing to learn? You have to ask yourself that. Still learning important love lessons. Their soul wants to learn and evolve. Love has taught them a lot of lessons. So, this could be your energy. You could be the student of this energy right here. And then we have the foreigner. Yeah. Long distance relationships, finding love overseas, dating outside of their race. This is because the unknown always makes them think about a vampire. What do? They don't feed on vampires. They feed on regular people, and they take it's like that's what it is. So this person will rather deal with somebody at a distance than to deal with somebody that's right there in their backyard that has everything that that other person has, whether race, skin color, whatever. They have everything else. They might have even more. The person that's in their backyard might have even more, hence might be you, and turns around and they don't trust it because it's right there. It's too close. It's actually making them feel like they have no choice but to commit. But this only happens when it comes to you making them the student. Because, see, this is the thing, the lessons that you had to learn again, it says, your soul has returned to learn many lessons. The lessons that you learn is that once you get out of this situation of feeling gullible, feeling like everything is taking its time, or feeling like you're around fake people, you become the love bomber. And when you deal with the love bomber, this is the energy: over the top gestures, taking things too seriously, too early. And it says emotional manipulation to gain power. That's their energy. Emotional manipulation to gain power. Take things too seriously too early. That could be your energy. But once you learn that about yourself, that it's not even that you take things too seriously, you're okay with being who you are until somebody makes you feel like they're making fun of you. You know what I mean? Like they make you feel like they're mocking you. And then you start to look at things like, am I taking it too serious? Because then what happens is that you go into hermit mode, Virgo energy, right? You go into hermit mode, and then you start cutting yourself off from the world. You stop having fun. I watched this thing the other day. Oh God, I think I put it on my TikTok. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that I saved it. But let me see if I can find it. Hopefully, it doesn't have music in there, and they won't um pull it back. Hold on. Let me see. No, no, that's not it. Yeah, hopefully they won't pull it back if I can find it. But basically what it was saying is that, the people, the hurt that you're in is because people don't what is it? They don't under oh, I'm gonna find it, but I'm losing my train of thought looking for it. But the thing is that you have to understand that, overthinking and over gesturing and things like that is, you want to make people happy. You want to make people happy, and you want people to understand why you're in this situation or why you feel the way that you do. But at the same time, it's just like, no, I can't do this because people are taking my kindness for a weakness. But hold on one second. No, I can't find it. But anyway, so takes things too seriously too early. It's because those are the way that you love. You want to love, and you want to understand people for who they are, and you put the and see the potential in them, but they manipulate you to gain your power, to suck your energy, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna move on because we're 26 minutes into it. I hope that makes sense. Orange hearts in the comments if you understand what I'm saying. But I'm gonna pull from this deck. This is a feminine type energy because, again, being the mother of the zodiac, whether male or female, we think we love hard. We love hard, but then when we can't trust, we just can't trust. And so that is why you become the student in this situation, Seven of Swords energy. Yeah, and you recognize your insecurities. You recognize your insecurities, and you understand that, no matter what, look at all these cards that came out. No matter what you're going through, and being a student, you have to still discover your powers. Ace of Wands energy. You have to still understand that when it comes to this situation, you have to have the confidence and be able to discover the things that and see potential in certain situations. But with the Chariot moving forward, you still have to be confident enough to move forward. You have to have your confidence and discover Ace of Wands energy. Even when you're insecure, you still have to look the part. Seven of Cups, realize that you have options. You have more options than anything in the world. But this is a student. This is you learning the lessons when it comes to especially love, because you will be victorious in all other situations, but love, it has to come with boundaries for you, or you will start dealing with, look, Six of Wands comes out twice. I mean, right behind each other, I think. Yeah, the Six of Wands comes out right behind each other, and I've shuffled these and used these several times. So this just lets you know that you're going to be successful. You're going to be successful. You just have to understand that success comes with a cost. Success comes with a cost. Success comes with you understanding who you are, understanding that, everything is going to come to you within divine timing. However, you have to learn those lessons. And that's the lesson that you had to learn from the last lifetime, if that makes sense. And so this is you having confidence in yourself and progressing forward. You're moving forward, and people are completing you and not depleting you. So these are the boundaries that you learn to have, especially when you've been overthinking a situation for a long time. And so that is when you become the student. Page of Pentacles, never stop learning. Because if you think you know everything, you know nothing at all. You're overthinking, and this where the student energy comes in at. Because the Nine of Cups energy, you're gonna have your rewards, but you got to know what success looks like, and also know that you have options to be able to have anything that you want. And so at the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. Everything, the student, the lesson that you had to learn to get to this point, you're going to be fine. Nine of Pentacles, each year is equivalent to a year. The Nine of Pentacles is here. So it took you 9 years, almost 9 years to get to this point, or nine could be equivalent in this situation, but it took you 9 years to understand how to learn from this runner type energy and be successful. But this is the life of a Cancer, and this is where, and not all cancers, I'm just saying, if it resonates, it resonates, but the thing is like, you have to understand that you're close to achieving your goals. This is the final phase before completion. And, it's some tweaking that needs to be done. But you have to pay extra attention to the details and focus on what it is and why you're peeling back the layers for everything, and why people want to make fun of you because you're different. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. Pull up to the ceiling with my ceiling, pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Embrace your freedom. It says you gain a huge amount of freedom when you take nothing personally. No spells can affect you regardless of how strong it may be. And if you live without fear, if you love, you will be happy with your life. And so that is the difference between the takers, the bloodsuckers. They take from you, tend to make tend to take more than they give, and that is because they understand what it's like for you when it comes to love and what you want, and they're going to keep running and sucking you dry and being distant from you until you learn this lesson. No man is your enemy, no man is your friend, every man is your teacher. So it's just like they're mocking you, and no matter how badly people treat you, never drop to their level. Take the high road, walk away. Peel back the layers of a person or situation to discover what you may not have originally known. And that's just what it is. The runner runs away from the intense connections, unwilling to do the work that is needed. This person is scared. They're fearful. They live in the past. They're fearful of the past and also have anxiety for the future, but they're making you do that same thing. Eight of Swords energy. They're making you have anxiety, overthink things, think you're less than. But this is what you have to learn when it comes to the lessons of love and just being successful in your own right. You cannot care what somebody else's think, what someone else's think. Again, you gain a huge amount of freedom when you take nothing personally. No spells can affect you regardless of how strong it may be. And if you live without fear, right? If you love, you will be happy with your life, and nobody can change the way you feel about it. Making fun of others, sarcasm, ridicule, taunt, and insulting tease. That's what this person, place, things, or situation has done to you. So let's go ahead and pull from the crystal deck, and then we'll let this energy go. I just believe that when it comes to the Hessonite garnet, hold on. I just believe that when it comes to this, and look, I'm reading it. It's gonna trip you out what it is. When it comes to this journey, I was gonna say, but you being the student, this is what you have to learn. But it takes a long time because again, you don't give up on people until you really do. And so it says root and sacral chakra. Yes, you're grounding yourself, and your sacral chakra just lets you know that, this is how you're able to be confident with your emotions and the way that you want to be loved, right? Stay tuned for the chakras and the four agreements up at the top. You can get my definition of how I feel about them, but my perspective. The Hessonite garnet: confidence, prosperity, and creativity. It says, my journey through life is filled with good health and happiness. My journey through life is filled with good health and happiness. And that is what you need to know, and embrace your freedom. So, you guys stay tuned for the affirmation. I love you.